Thank you so much, Stevie. Thanks very, very much. And welcome everybody. I'm just overwhelmed with the turnout this evening, and really, really grateful to all of you, especially those of you who travelled. And I know some people are here from Dublin and Clifton and far from parts of Connemara, and it's just lovely to see everyone. Thank you so much for coming along and supporting me this evening. Well, this book has been 4 years in the making. But I'm so glad I made it before I became an old age pensioner. I won't keep you much longer. I've always been interested in place names, and West Mayo is just a treasure trove of wonderful Loganimnoch and different place names, and it's got wonderful topography as well. I suppose I have a strong affinity to West Mayo, so that's where it all started with Westport several years ago. And along with the desk research into the books that Leamy just mentioned, you know, by O'Marila and McGowan, which I have acquired along the way, I've looked back on the Ordnance Survey letters of John O'Donoghue, and as well as the names, the Irish names of places by Patrick Weston Joyce. And I've really done a lot of desk research, but really it's only by getting your boots muddy and getting out into the field and seeing why the particular place is called what it is that you really then begin to realise why it was named as such. And I suppose largely it's got to do with the topography of the particular townland that you're in at the time. But I spent many years driving around the county and visiting the place names and meeting all the landowners and the people that they were so welcoming, and they were so good to share their knowledge of their local area with me, from Leenane to Erris, all the way along the west coast. And I really want to thank them publicly here this evening for helping me. It was a team effort really to put this book together, and I just want to acknowledge that. So the inspiration, I suppose, came from two sources really. One was to get the knowledge that has been already documented through Gaeilge primarily. I wanted to get that to reach a wider audience, and I wanted to write a book primarily in the English language so that everyone would understand what's meant by the origin and meaning of the different Loganimnoch that I visited. And also because, excuse me, I'm sorry, the other reason is that I felt that, that the likes of Connemara, and I'm sure Michael will agree with me here, the likes of Connemara and the Burn, and probably Kerry to a large extent as well, you know, when you think of the Skelligs and parts of Kerry, I felt that Mayo was really right for a deep mapping and for, you know, more books about the county and about what makes the county what it is. And as Leamy said, I had to, and Paddy, thank you so much, you have to start somewhere. So I started with the three baronies of Morris, Burrishoole and Erris, and we'll see what happens after that. But be that as it may, that's just a very short potted history of how the book came about. It would never have been published had it not been for this man here, though. And I just want to publicly as well acknowledge and thank Leamy most sincerely for his editing skills and for helping me to get this book across the line this evening. Thanks so much. And I want to thank you as well for being so generous with your time and offering such sound advice prior to publication. I'd like to thank Rosaline and her team here for providing the room here for us this evening as well. It's just great that you all managed to squeeze in eventually. I suppose the list of acknowledgements is in the book, but it really would be remiss of me not to thank my companions on my research meanderings. And as I said, I've already mentioned the landowners who willingly share their local knowledge with me. And I'm also just really heartened and delighted that my surrogate dad, the late Liam Lyons, who was like a second father to me when I was going around in short pants and being driven everywhere around the county with Liam, that Liam's beautiful photograph is on the front cover. I'm just so happy. Also, I'd like to thank Ciara Moynihan of the Mayo News for giving me the start, as they say. And lastly, before I forget, I'd like to thank my dear Mitch, who thought this day would never arrive, but who kept the faith and supported me every step of the way. I sincerely hope you all enjoy this book. I hope some of you will find somewhere you have not been before and enjoy visiting there and maybe discovering something that I haven't discovered or haven't described in the book. It might even inspire some further exploration of our locality to places where you haven't been yet. And I hope it will encourage younger people to understand and appreciate their local Dinshanachas and preserve the meanings of our local names and places. And thank you so much again for coming along tonight.
Back, €20. Regardless of Anglo-Irish or anyone else, 2 copies, €40. It's awful simple, lads. So, thank you all for coming out, thank you all for supporting this, and I hope you really enjoyed the book. And there's a cup on tea as well and a biscuit for that. And John, the books are signed, but John will also, if anybody wants a dedication, we'll do it here. Up here. Thank you.